Hi everyone, welcome to another Q&A video, or what I'm going to call Aylesbury Answers. So this is the third video, and we'll start with a question from Steve Choules, who asks, would you like to do more then and now photo comparisons? Yeah, I mean, some of you might know I've done two books, Aylesbury Past and Present, published 1998, and Aylesbury Then and Now in Colour, which was in 2012. But I've also done some timescapes exhibitions for Heritage Open Days a couple of times. Yeah, they're good to do. I don't know why I haven't done any more, because I've got more time on my hands now, being out of work. Yeah, and it's just at the end of February now, so it's a good time of year to do it because of the lack of leaves on the trees, you know. It makes the visibility better, so you can see more of the buildings and any landscape that might be there. Although any landscape that's gone now, isn't it, from Aylesbury? Keeps being built on. Yeah, I don't know. I might do. It's thinking of the right photographs to do. Some of them don't work because of various reasons. Like Friars Square, for instance, that's totally built over the streets and roads and lanes that were there previously, so you can't really stand in the same spot and get a decent comparison. Other ones like Exchange Street, Walton Street, they're dual carriageways now. Can you imagine standing in the middle of the road? I have done it before when the traffic's quiet, but blimey, that's dangerous to do. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Right, another one from Matt Day. Old residents interviewed. Well, I've done three, two of which have been published, which is Bob Hinton, the 97-year-old as he was at the time. Him of Highbridge Road back in, when was that, 2002 I think. And Peggy Sale, former sister of Stoke Mandeville and Royal Bucks. Both have died since. I mean, Bob Hinton was 97, so he reached 100, and yeah, he died. And yeah, Peggy also reached 100 as well. Amazing. Yeah, they were both interesting to talk to. The other one was George Adams. I don't know if anyone remembers him. He was a what was he? A carpenter, decorator sort of thing. He had a workshop down the bottom of Nelson Terrace, and he, I think, was in his 90s when I chatted with him. He was in the Elms, old people's home, because my grandma was in there too, and I was visiting her with my dad, and we just happened to sit down and talk with this old boy. But that's on like a micro cassette. It's probably still alright, but the quality's not very good. Whereas the other two interviews were done on mini disc, because I knew I needed the quality, and you can tell because it's as good as me speaking here now, you know, and that was like almost 25 years ago. Right, what else have we got? So another one by Dawn Saunders. What happened to the soup factory that used to be in Park Street? Well, that was Nestle and Maggie Soups, wasn't it? Yeah, that was demolished and replaced with Flory Gardens. It's a new build made to look as if it's factory buildings. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't save some of the old buildings. The bit that was where the clock tower was on top was all right. That was built about 1900. And that horrible 60s block in the middle, that could have gone. But of course, with a lot of developments, they want to maximise the site, don't they? So that's what they did basically. It was terrible seeing that building go because I really liked that. Another one from Steve Chawles asks, what is the oldest photo of Aylesbury in your collection? Well, I think it's this one, which is of what was called New Road at the time. And that is the High Street. And I think it dates from where it says on the back. You probably can't see it. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to show up, but anyway, it's got Aylesbury in that sort of very old writing. And it says period about 1855. Now the building in the foreground is the Crown Hotel, which has got Margeson on it. Margeson family were in the town for a long time. I think they became partners with, or married into, the Adams family, the tobacconists, because there was Margeson Adams. But I had a look on the census of 1861, I think it was, and some of the newspapers of the time, and it seems to corroborate that sort of period. So it's really hard to tell with these because I scanned it in. I couldn't really see any other business names because that's obviously very useful when you're doing research. Yeah, and it's a stereo view, so you get these viewing contraptions where you sort of hold it up like that, and it's a bit. Do you remember those things in the 70s? Those plastic viewing things you used to get. It's a similar thing. You hold it up and it gives you a sort of a 3D view because each of the photos is slightly apart because the camera that took it had two lenses, so it's a bit like your eyes really. So you get that sort of 3D effect. Must have been quite amazing at the time. You imagine 1850s. I mean, photography hadn't been around long then. Another question from Oliver John Kent. What happened to Cromwell's chair at the King's Head? And is there any historical evidence he visited or sat in it? Is there a published history of the King's Head? Well, Cromwell's chair is still there, but it's safely tucked away for its own preservation, really. I mean, it's obviously very old. Any historical evidence of Cromwell being there or sat in it, I don't know. Well, he must have been around at the time because Aylesbury was a parliamentarian stronghold. Is there any published history of the King's Head? I don't think there is. There's no like official book. You only find stuff in well, just generally mentioned in history books really. There's quite a few dotted about, including some of mine. Yeah, and old newspapers maybe, that sort of thing. But yeah, there's no like I've never seen a book about the King's Head. Well, I think I'll wrap it up again. Been waffling on for quite some time, so yeah, that's been interesting. I've still got more questions to answer, so I'll do them in another video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.